Islam to all the Moors. I am Dr. Yasafa from Zion Law School. Welcome to the free Astro Theology course, where we deal with the divine or Hermetic laws that undergird uh, the cosmos. Okay? In ancient times, astrology and astronomy were used synonymously. So we deal with in this course the celestial bodies, of course, and the remix, the unfortunate remix that has taken place in all of the religions. So that remix is called astrotheology. Astrotheology. Okay, so we deal with that remix and the techniques that were used uh, to do the remix. So if you're dealing in the music industry, you'd have what, a turntable, a mixer, mix machine, and you need a DJ, right, to mix and do remixes to sample. But in documents, in literary works, you need vocabulary and grammar rules. Okay? So when you deal with literature, the most fundamental tools are the alphabet or the pictographs, those are synonymous, or hieroglyphs, also synonymous. Then the vocabulary. So vocabulary words, usually they will have a root or a base, and then of course prefixes, suffixes, infixes, and you can rearrange those, okay, any way you want to, and create new words, give them new meanings, or you can go with what's natural, the ancient natural meaning of words, which is the denotative meaning of words. But when you start mixing it up, changing things from their original meaning or the denotative meaning, and then that's called, I like to refer to it as mixing, okay, as mixing. So that's connotative linguistics. So the authors can assign new meanings to words, and that's usually done by institutions. That is an act of power and an act to blind, mislead, and otherwise just to deceive or make mockery of someone or a group. Okay, so to hide the original meaning of words for social engineering purposes, okay, that's usually done by institutions. Okay, it could be political bodies, corporations, any type of institution. So they can use uh, those fundamental elements of language, weaponize it. Okay, literally weaponize it. Okay, weaponize vocabulary, weaponize grammar rules, etc. Okay. So only those who are in on it will know the deal, and everyone else will be in the dark. They'll be in the shade. All right. In other words, they'll be ignorant of it. So let's get into it. We're on chapter 13, page 141. And I'm at a cafe right now. This is very, a very beautiful cafe. They have different rooms that you can go into, gives you a different environment, a different ambiance, and This is a very nice place. Very, very nice place. Sometimes I have to remind myself how lucky in life I am to be able to do what I want to do when I want to do it for the most part, and enjoy nice places like this, even though I have not, and I've never chased fiat. I've never chased material things. And I'm not saying that as like that's a badge of honor. I'm just sharing y'all with y'all my life and who I am, and I appreciate being able to come into a nice place, not a nice place. That's another connotative, the meaning of nice, right? And by the way, y'all, we have to be alert to the words that we use, because words are spells, and words will create a reality for you, whether or not you are aware of it or not. What you speak, you actually do speak. Your conditions and situations, you speak those into existence through the words of your mouth, right? The tongue really is a two-edged sword, all right? And life and death really does. Pain and suffering, joy, all of these things lie in the tongue. But anyway, let's get back to it, y'all. I'm talking too much. Chapter 13, description of the planets, what they rule over, and whom. So what and whom the planets rule over. So last class we discussed Saturn. So let's pick it back up on page 142. I'm sorry, y'all. I said page 141 is actually page 142. I have to correct that. So we're going to begin at the last sentence on page 142. And you know what? Before I get started, let me check to make sure that the audio is okay. And if y'all could be so kind, so there's another one. If scholars, if you will help me, hold on. Like and share the video. Also, if you haven't subscribed. It really helps other people find this content, okay? There's really no reason for you not to like, share, and subscribe. Give me 1 second, please. All right. Let's see. Vietnam has a totally different culture than we do in the Maghreb, and there's some parts of it that I really, really like. Especially those parts that have to do with friendships, relationships, even student-teacher relationships. Hold on. So now I'm not getting reception. So let me know if y'all can hear me. Can someone put something in the put a 1 in the comments if you can hear me? For whatever reason, I don't have a signal. Put a 1 in the comment, please, if you can hear me. I'm not able to load up my channel. I always have problems trying to go live. See y'all? Y'all think I'm just talking? My mobile phone just goes off. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can connect by Wi-Fi. Let's see. See if we can work around it. Okay, I'm back online. Had to go on Wi-Fi. But you know, it's not just me who has trouble with this. I've watched videos, and there are others who, other people who create astrotheology content, and I've heard them say that they also have problems. So y'all best believe this is content uh, that is not welcome. Let me go to my channel. All right, so let me see okay, yeah, we're good. All right, so we can get started. Okay, yeah, we're good. All right, so we can get started. So let's make it do what it do. All right, so here we go. Page 142, we'll begin on the last paragraph. Let me turn that down. I don't like to hear myself on this other device. All right, y'all. So he describes one of a body more cold and dry. He describes, he's talking about Saturn, okay, the planet Saturn. Saturn describes one, that's a man or a woman, of a body more cold and dry. So cold would have to do with one's body temperature. So someone, if you touch them and they feel cold and clammy, maybe they're not sick. Maybe they're not sick. Well, it says cold and dry. So cold and dry. Okay, so not clammy, cold and dry. Middle stature, so middle build. His complexion swarthy or muddy. Y'all got that? Swarthy. I'm actually surprised to see this. Actually, I'm not. Actually, I'm not. Y'all know swarthy would mean a deep brown complexion. Swarthy or muddy. Now, muddy doesn't necessarily mean brown. It could be reddish brown, depending on the color of the soil where you are at, right? Right, y'all? So let's not assume anything. So we can look at the many shades of topsoil, the many colors of topsoil. Add water, and then this would be muddy, right? Topsoil and water, that's mud. I've not seen pink topsoil. Okay, I've not even seen clay color, you know, like a light tan. I've not seen that color topsoil. But y'all do see why they're attributing the range of complexions of Moors to Saturn. Y'all see it? The inference, he's inferring that the autochthonous man and woman are, let's go back up to the second paragraph on page, let's go back to page 144, that very first paragraph. Remember, he says that Saturn is all things that has to do with the earth. All things that has to do with the earth. So man is made, according to Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, man is made, or not made, but formed from the dust of the ground. Okay, so we know that man is thought, clothed in soil. Clothed in soil, and presents as flesh. Man is thought, made manifest from the land, or from the dust of the ground, depending on how, or what, or from the mud, or from the slime, depending on which Bible translation you read, and the era, ERA, of time that translation was done. Now, what else does he say? He starts talking about negative characteristics of Saturn. But you know, y'all, let's take a look at this, okay? Back on page 141 at the top of the paragraph. Saturn rules over husbandry. See, farming. Now, if you have not seen the video that I did on mankind enslaved, is it mankind enslaved Adam or something like that? But what it's talking about is the Genesis chapter 1 created creature by Yaqub and his 12 feminine co-genetic engineers created the hybrid troglodyte Paleolithic caveman, the Neanderthal, from the sperm of a chimpanzee, the black one, the vicious, ferocious one, the most vicious and ferocious chimpanzee, and the egg of a Moabitess, producing a half man, half chimpanzee, or the Han Uman, the colorable man that's non-descendable, okay? And then that creature, that being, enslaved, or let me not say enslaved, but put in bondage, the Moors. Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, Moors. Not a religious group, not a club, nothing like that, but the autochthonous Moors. Those of you who haven't seen my work, land means Moors. Okay? Look it up in a law dictionary, Black's Law Dictionary even. All right? So there's a reference to husbandry. Husbandry. Okay? Bondage. He continues, agriculturalist, farmers. I hope y'all heard what I just said. I hope y'all got that. I hope you got that. If not, go back and watch that video, okay? Go back and watch the video. Well, he continues. Over all those who work in soil or about cattle, not horses. Y'all see this? Let's go down. All black and dark matters. All black and dark matters of the kind such as rubber, bank safes or vaults, over powders, tile and brick makers. Now, remember, I mentioned last time in Egyptian mythology, right? They say, I forgot the name of the deity, but this deity is what? He's like a potter forming man on the potter's wheel. All right, the indigenous Moor. So this is more defamation, okay, presenting us in a very negative light. If you pay attention to what you're reading, let's continue. He continues. And brick makers, Israelites were said to be brick makers, right, for the Egyptians, and dealers and workers in clay and earth. Wool, Israelites were known to be herders of sheep, right? Over all melancholy and morose, repining and dogged, sneaky persons. Saturn delights in dark and gloomy places, shade and wilderness and woods. He is the author of all evil under the sun. Remember, Malcolm X made it very popular that everything in the English vocabulary that has to do with black is negative, and everything that has to do with white is divine and positive, but everything that has to do with black is negative and evil. Okay, like devil's chocolate cake or something like that. But anyway, we're all familiar with that. But y'all see, we're getting into the author's mentality, his psychology. Okay, he's revealing his psychology to us, and or those who put this stuff together. Okay, because remember, they branded us as black for a reason. All right. But anyway, let's go back to the paragraph. So back to page 142. He describes one of a body more cold and dry, middle stature. His complexion is swarthy or muddy, eyes small and black. Didn't they say, don't they describe our people in terms of their eyes as being like raccoons? Raccoon eyes, y'all? Eyes small and black, looking downward. Looking downward. Well, yeah, you bet not look up or look a hybrid in the eye. Remember, y'all? Remember that? And that was even, that was going on. I can remember that as far back as high school. That was still going on. He continues, a broad forehead, black or sad hair. What is sad hair? Black or sad hair, hard, lank, or rugged? Is he talking about nappy hair, y'all? Kinky hair? There's a mosquito in here. Okay, he says sad hair, hard, lank, or rugged. Great ears, big ears, hanging and lowering eyebrows, thick lips and nose. Thick lip and nose. Who? What people are described or are known, right, to have thick lips and a thick nose? Y'all see the defamation here? See the defamation? A thin beard. Now, I've often heard that most Africans cannot grow a beard. And I'm not even talking about a full beard. Me myself, I grow a goatee. So I think I'm lucky. I grow a goatee and some whiskers here. But I never had problems with my skin because of that. And actually, I didn't start growing a full goatee until I was, heck, darn near 40. And then all of a sudden, boom. Or even past, it may have even been past 40. Anyway, let's continue. A lumpish, unpleasant countenance. That means a person who's unhappy or who lacks confidence in himself, right? Either holding the head forward or stooping. The shoulders broad and large, and many times crooked. His belly somewhat short and lank, thighs spare, lean, and not long, knees and feet not in proportion, often shuffling or hitting against each other. This sounds like a person who is psychologically defeated. And you can see his defeat in his body posture, right? You can see that he's been defeated just by looking at him. Okay, just by looking at his face or his countenance, his expression, and his body, his, you know, y'all know what I'm talking about. You know when you look at someone and you can just tell that they've been defeated or that they've just given up. All right, page 143. You must observe that if Saturn be oriental, that's east, of the SUN sun, the stature is more short, but decent and well composed. I'm not sure what that means. He's short, but he's a decent person and he's well composed under pressure. He's not gonna start just running off at the mouth. That's for me. That sentence is not clear. But let's keep it moving. 143. But if he be occidental of the sun, if I remember correctly, occidental in this case is west. Let me check to make sure, y'all. Hold on. All right. You know, it makes me feel good when I get messages from my old classmates. You know, let me just make sure that that I got the right meaning for occidental. Sometimes I'm forgetful. Yeah, Western cultures, people of the Western cultures. Okay. In Philippines, they have a province called Negros Occidental. And I used to always wonder, what the heck is Negros Occidental? So that means what? Moors from the West. Or blacks from the West. European Moors. Okay, y'all? I think everyone knows that that our Moorish ancestors, our European Moorish ancestors, many of them, when they were expelled from Europe, went back home to what's now known as the Philippine Islands. And they must have been autochthonous to those islands. That's why they went back, right? Or at least the vast majority. Anyway, let's keep it moving. But if he be occidental, but if he be west of the sun, then he is more black and lean, with fewer hairs. And again, if he want latitude, the body is more lean. If he have great latitude, so again, if he want latitude, that means in want of latitude, that means he's lacking latitude, right? Okay, the body is lean. If he have great latitude, the body is more fleshly. Okay, so latitude, so we would look at that from 0 degrees or the equator. So more latitude would, you'd be going north, less latitude, you'd be going south. Okay, or from the north, less latitude, you'd move south. From the south, southern hemisphere, more latitude, you go north, right? Okay, let's continue. On page 143, the second paragraph. The sicknesses of Saturn are all impediments in the right ear and teeth. So Saturn, people who are born under Saturn, or that would be the zodiac signs that Saturn rules, which would be Capricorn, which is the goat fish, and then Aquarius, which is the androgynous or the hermaphrodite man. Well, man or woman, you can't tell what it is, right? So they're sick. So these people, they tend to have right ear infections. Okay? So the sicknesses of Saturn are all impediments in the right ear. So it might be an ear infection, or it could be an anatomical problem with their ear. Okay, ear infection, hearing loss, or something like that, and problems with the teeth. Maybe it's the teeth on the right side. It's not clear to me. Allcorton argues, proceeding from cold, dry, and melancholy distempers, leprosies, rheums, typhoid fevers, consumption. So consumption is usually TB, y'all, usually tuberculosis. Black jaundice, palsies, so with the nerves, tremblings, vain fears. So this person would be, um, how would we describe that today? Uh, what's the clinical name for it? Well, it'll come to me. But this person, these people tend to have what? Vain fears. I'll leave it at that. When it comes to me, I'll say it. Um, Vain fears, fantasies. So this is sounding like a narcissist, right? I mean, that would be the extreme case of narcissist, right? Narcissists are acting the way they act because they're so insecure and they have a lot of fear, okay? And their idea is that they're going to punch you before you have a chance to punch them. And they have these fantasies, these extreme fantasies that they try to pull you in and get you to participate in, whether you like it or not. Okay, dropsy, gout, either hand or foot. So gout in either the hand or the foot. Apoplexies. They tend to be, what is this? Dog hunger. I have to look that up, y'all. Bleeding bowels, so hemorrhoid, bleeding hemorrhoids. Ruptures if Saturn be in Scorpio or Leo. Wow. So they tend to have bleeding bowels, that's hemorrhoids, and the hemorrhoids may rupture. There may be a tendency for those hemorrhoids or the uh, GI tract to rupture if Saturn be in Scorpio or Leo in any ill aspect of Venus. Wow. That's quite a bit. Mm. But actually, scholars, I'm not surprised because your mentality, your psychology affects your health. So this is speaking to the mind-body connection. So a person who is constantly uh, in fear, constantly fantasizing about people trying to hurt them, constantly plotting and planning on how to hurt other people, constantly scheming on how to set people up. So in the future, if they need to hurt them, destroy them, they can. This is the wickedness of a narcissist. Of course, that's going to produce a that's going to give you the hormones and enzymes uh, that are bad for your health, that can actually kill you. Okay, so that's talking about the mind body connection. So this is not surprising to me now that I think about it. Coming. Not surprising at all to me. So it is expected. Okay, in the same way that those people who focus their mind on joy, gratitude, and graciousness, and who live their life accordingly. Well, let's do it this way. Those people who are living the highest principles of the universe: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, right? The 5 points. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. These people will produce hormones and enzymes that support health, that repair damaged DNA, that repair damaged tissues and damaged cells, okay, that repair damaged cell walls, that cleanses the body, cleanses the liver, cleanses the gallbladder, keeps the pancreas clean, keeps everything in balance. That's the biochemistry that these men and women will produce. The lower self person are going to produce the exact opposite. Okay, provided, let me qualify that, provided they have a conscience. If they enjoy hurting people, then they're going to produce the hormones and enzymes for life that support life, right? Because they're getting joy and fulfillment out of hurting people. And y'all, this is why quite often the most vile and animalistic people live to be very old. They live to be very, very old. Okay, because they're unaffected. So their body doesn't produce those hormones or that hormone profile that will destroy your fleshly body. Okay, so that explains it. All right, that's why these people tend to live a very long time, because they don't have a bad conscience, and so therefore they're not going to produce the hormone profile that will destroy you, your physical body. Okay, so anyway, let's continue. Page 143. Saturn rules over the sour, bitter, and sharp savors. That's flavors. Okay, and actually, bitter and sour fruit, not fruit, but vegetables can be very good for you, right? Bitter herbs. And anyway, let's continue. In a man, I'm sorry, let me do that again. And Saturn rules over the sour, bitter, and sharp flavors. And in man, the spleen. So Saturn rules over the spleen. That's very interesting. Y'all know why? Because your spleen is like a filter. Hold on. Your spleen is a filter, and damaged red blood cells that are passing through your spleen will be caught. They'll be caught up in the spleen and then degraded. Okay, and then all of that's going to be recycled. But if your spleen is damaged, then that filtration process won't work, and it's going to get clogged up. And that can cause you a lot of problems with your health, okay? A lot of problems with your health. So let's continue. Let's continue. So in other words, your filtration system can be damaged, okay? I remember when years and years ago, I wrote a little booklet on the liver and spleen. I ought to try to find that. I ought to try to find that and publish it. Man, I forgot. I forgot all about that. Anyway, let's continue. He has in parentheses here, for herbs and trees, consult Culpeper. Do I have a pen? Hold on, y'all. I want to underline that. So let me say it again for you scholars. For herbs and trees, consult Culpeper. Somebody do a Google search on Culpeper, okay? See what you come up with. I would I would really like to get this if it's still available. If it's still available. Over animals, Saturn rules all manner of creeping things. So that would be insects, creeping things, right? Born of putrefaction, such as worms, also serpents. So Saturn rules over serpents, adders, also over the ass. Well, no, no, no. That doesn't. Hold on, y'all. I see something that looks like. Ah, no. So Saturn, remember on page 141, it says here Saturn rules over cattle, not horses. But an ass is not a horse. Let me clarify that. And some Bible translators have translated ass as horse. Some have made the distinction between an ass and a horse. Okay, y'all? So just be aware of that. Let's keep it moving. Where am I? Ah, okay. All right. So over serpents, adders, also over the ass, cat. I can see how Saturn would rule over a cat, right? Cats usually, cat, the attitude of most cats. Okay, a hare, so a rabbit, mouse, mole, bear, dog, wolf, basilisk, or lizard, crocodile, and alligator, scorpion, toads, and especially swine, wild hogs, boars, etc. I would have to take some time to think about why Saturn, what do these animals and insects have in common? Let's continue. A fish, Saturn rules over the eel, E-E-L. Now, y'all, that's very interesting. Also, the tortoise, that's also interesting. So let me go back, and I think it's in this book. Give me 1 second. So remember that. Uh, Let me not speak so fast. Let me just see if I can find it. So y'all go back to the Devil's Pulpit, and you can look at the etymology of eel, not eel, yeah, the eel, like a snake fish, right? And the deity that it represents. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 moment. I'm looking for something to show you a connection. If I can find the page number. Be patient, please. So this has to do with the snake and the tortoise. Some of y'all might remember. Give me 1 moment. Y'all do me a favor while I'm doing this. Y'all, if y'all haven't subscribed, subscribe, share the video, like the video, call somebody on the phone, tell them to tune in right now. Give me 1 second. Drives me nuts when I can't find something immediately. Hold on. Usually my memory. If I stop now, it might come back to me, and then I'll be able to turn right to it. 1 second, y'all. Oh, here we are, page 127. In the third chapter of Genesis, the account of the fall of man. See, here we go. Saturn, the aboriginal autochthonous more. Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, more. Okay, so the account of the fall of the man is a mixture both of phallus and planetary truths. So that means there are two solutions, right? There's a sexual on the shame side, right? Phallus work. There's a sexual on the shame side solution or meaning of a verse or remix, and then there's the actual planetary truth that's hidden, covered over by the religious doctrine, and then beneath that would be the phallus worship, and then beneath that would be the planetary truths, okay, that are being hidden. The serpent or tortoise, which is found as a symbol or emblem in all parts of the globe, in China, Egypt, among the Chaldeans, among the Indian tribes, and in the islands of the Pacific, the Indian Ocean, and among the Mexicans or Aztecs, the Delawareans and Mohicans or Algonquin tribes of North America. So we're talking about what, y'all, when we talk about snakes and turtles in reference to tortoise, turtle, in reference to land masses? We're talking about Turtle Island. Okay? We're talking about Turtle Island. That was a point I wanted to make. Okay? So let me just finish this. Is not only an allusion to the male organ, that's the male sex organ, the phallus, the penis, or generation, right? The generation. So the first, the father, the original father, the generator, but to the constellation Scorpio, or original fall sign. So here, going back to page 142, there is a reference here to Scorpio. So let's see what's the relationship, or why is it that Scorpio is mentioned there? What does Scorpio and Saturn have in common with respect to snakes and tortoises in this context, and of course a broader context? Well, let's check it out. Let's see if we can figure it out. So actually, we're on page 143. Page 143. Okay. So Saturn rules, okay, so fishes, the eel, tortoise, all manner of shellfish, which bury in the mud, so we understand that, right, because it's mud, and the lobster, crawfish, crabs, etc. So if I remember correctly, our crawfish, y'all, crawfish is something like a shrimp, right? So these are bottom feeders, right? They eat, I think crawfish eat dead things. Give me 1 second. Let me check this out. If anybody wants to call in, hold on, let me see. Let me check to see what lobster eats. But y'all also know that these, if you have a diet of these type of animals, you're asking for a heart attack, right? You are asking for a heart attack. Give me 1 second. You are, if you eat a lot of shrimp and a lot of lobster, you are asking for a heart attack. Okay, let's see. So I'm Google searching, what do lobsters eat? So what do lobsters eat? Let me just show it. So this is what the lobster eats. Can y'all see that? That's what the lobster eats. Okay, so the lobster eats algae, crustaceans, mollusks, small fish, Korean meat, shrimp, and then sea urchins. So let me skip that. I want to see what the y'all don't get bored, all right? But this is what it takes. You have to be meticulous if you want to gain understanding. So if you're bored right now, just try to hang in there. Uh, because it's really really it's a matter of academic discipline in order to be able to meticulously go through these uh, to meticulously search for information that you don't know and to enjoy it. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say, to enjoy it. All right. Here we are. So, what do crayfish eat or crawfish eat? Algae, worms, fish, and shrimp. So these animals exist at the bottom. Oh, here it is. They live at the bottom of the sea where it's dark. That's the answer. That's why. It's dark, right? The light may not even make it to the bottom of the ocean, and they're totally in the dark. So the absence of light means that it's black. Black is Saturn. Why didn't I think of that sooner? Anyway, let's keep it moving. Why didn't I think of that sooner? Hold on. Okay, so let's continue. Saturn rules over such precious stones as sapphire, lapis. What does this say? It looks like lazuli, but the print is smeared. All black and ugly stones. So Saturn rules over all black and ugly stones, not polishable, and of a sad, ashy, or black color. Y'all got that? let me Google search an eel. Let's take a look at an eel, okay? I wish I remembered everything. I don't remember all of the. Y'all go into the Devil's Pulpit, flip through it, and you'll see eel. Eel has to do with the heel of your foot. The eel ultimately is the sun. Ultimately, it's the sun, but I just don't remember every word in that string. Okay, but let's take a look at an eel. Now, what's the thing with an eel, y'all? See, there's the eel. See the color of the eel? Y'all see the color of the eel? It also lives at the bottom, okay, of the sea. So an eel, if you touch an eel, it's gonna electrocute you. Okay, it's gonna give you a lot of pain. Maybe you won't survive it. Anyway, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Oh, it says of toads. Now that's very interesting. Of toads. So let's look at something that is it called DDM? Hold on, y'all. There's a secretion, DMT. There's a secretion uh, made by a certain toad. And here he is. Is this it? Yeah, let me show y'all this. Now this is a good thing. Can y'all see that? Let me. It's going to flip. No. So there's a secretion that this toad, a substance that this toad excretes rather from its skin. Uh, that's very therapeutic for psychological problems. I think even addictions. Okay. I don't remember everything. I haven't looked at this stuff in years. But see, Saturn is not all bad. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me here it is. Let me show you this. Okay, so DMT rather, DMT. This is the secretion from this toad. It says here that a European study, after one single use, the substance 5-MeO DMT was shown to produce sustained enhancement of satisfaction with life and easing of anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder. All right, when former heavyweight boxing champ Mike Tyson first tried DMT, also called quote unquote the toad, he said it knocked him off his feet, profoundly changing his life. Mike Tyson said that he was able to break his cocaine addiction because of DMT. He said that cocaine had ruined his life and he had went broke because of his cocaine habit, and he couldn't kick it on his own. But it was when he tried DMT therapeutically, meaning he went to a resort, right? And he went through the DMT. They do it as a ritual. It's supposed to be indigenous people, and there's a ritual that you go through. I don't know where he did it, but I know that you can go to Mexico, Peru, etc. And then after he did DMT, no more cocaine addiction, and it calmed him down. So he says, this is what he says. Mike Tyson said it knocked him off his feet, profoundly changing his life. Quote unquote, I came across this thing called the toad. I smoked this medicine. Now, I don't like the language that they're using because it's not a medicine and it's not a drug. It is an ancient substance that our ancestors used for a variety of purposes. It is not a medicine and it is not a drug. See, when they term something a medicine and a drug, and you start calling it a medicine and a drug, you are putting yourself in their jurisdiction with their codes and statutes, administrative policies regulating medicine and drugs. Y'all see it? Okay, so it continues, whatever you want to call it. And I've never been the same. I'm not going to continue reading this. Oh, well, wait, here's some good quotes. He says, I look at life differently. I look at people differently. It's almost like dying and being reborn. It's inconceivable. I tried to explain it to some people, to my wife. I don't have words to explain it. It's almost like you're dying. You're submissive, you're humble, you're vulnerable, but You're invincible still in it all. So that's how he overcame his drug addiction. I saw many videos where Mike Tyson gave this testimony. So this is the toad, DMT. Okay, it's a substance that our ancestors have used since ancient times. So Saturn governs the toad. Saturn governs the toad. Now, isn't that very interesting? A person who may be depressed, suffering from various forms of stress disorders, drug addiction, etc. But yet Saturn rules over the toad, which resolves those type of illnesses for many, many people. Well, let's just say for Mike Tyson, okay? Anyway, let's keep it going, y'all. So it continues. Saturn rule. Oh, I already read that. So back to page 143, the last paragraph. Saturn causes cloudy, dark, obscure air, cold and hurtful. So this is storms, storm clouds, right? Dark, cloudy, obscure air, cold and hurtful, thick, black, and oppressive clouds. Saturn delights in the east quarter of heaven. Saturn delights in the east quarter of heaven. That's the east gate, the golden gate, right? Aries. And causes the miserable, foreboding east winds. That's very interesting, y'all, because you know those east winds in the spring. Go back to the Devil's Pulpit by the Reverend Robert Taylor. A link to the free PDF is in the description area of this video. But those early spring winds, that's the Holy Spirit. This is the natural phenomena that was remixed into a religious doctrine. Okay, y'all can get that in the Devil's Pulpit. So it's saying that Saturn is the Holy Spirit. Saturn delights in the east quarter of heaven and causes the miserable, foreboding east winds. Now, why is he calling it miserable and foreboding east winds? Because these are springtime winds, right? Y'all know those gusts of winds that come in the springtime? Unless he's talking about those gusts of winds that accompany storms, you know, great thunderstorms. Anyway, let's continue. Saturn delights. Oh, I already read that. When gathering any plant ruled by Saturn, so Saturn also governs plants. The ancients always turned their faces to the east in the hour of Saturn. And he, that would be Saturn, if possible, in an angle, either in the ascendant or 10th or 12th house, zodiacal houses, the moon applying to a sextile or triune in him. And I'm not really sure what that means. If you are a competent astrologer, could you reach out to me? And I don't know everything, okay? Neither do I have, I got 24 hours in a day. So if I had someone who could advise me on these type of matters so I don't have to spend a whole bunch of time researching, trying to figure stuff out, it would be very useful, very helpful for me. So if you got that skill set, that knowledge base, please reach out to me. Okay? So anyway, let's continue. Page 144. His orb, Saturn's orb, is 9 degrees before and after. Oh, and by the way, y'all, 1 degree is 72 years. 1 degree is 72 years. Okay? And the sun itself is about 3 degrees. So when the sun enters into one zodiac sign that first day, it's going to go 1 degree, right? 30 days, 29 days later, which would be 30 degrees, the sun is exiting that zodiac sign. So you have 30 degrees or 30 days that month. And then the sun itself is 3 degrees. So that's 33 degrees. Y'all got that? That's 33 degrees. And then the sun is going to enter into the next zodiacal house. Now that's on a yearly basis. So the sun goes around the path once a year, right? The ecliptic goes into each house once a year. But it's going to, due to the precession of the equinox or the perceived apparent backward movement of the equinoxes. It's called the precession of the equinoxes. Every 2,160 years, a new zodiac sign will appear on the horizon. Okay? So if you divide let's go to a great year. A great year, if I remember correctly, is 25,900 years. Okay? There are 12 zodiac signs. So you divide that by 12, that gives you the 2,160. Okay, so for the sun to go around for a great year, if you do the math, the sun, 1 degree is 72 years. 1 degree is 72 years if you do the math on that. All right? That works out. Let me come back to it. My thoughts are not clear. Let me come back. But what I said is correct. But I wanted to get to the pentagram. Oh, okay. Let me show you. Let me show you a visual. It'll be easier with the pentagram angles, the degrees, okay? Here we are. Here we are. So y'all see the 5-pointed star? Can y'all see that? Look at the angle. Y'all see the 36 degrees? 36 is a multiple of 9, right? And then 72 is also a multiple of 9. Y'all see that? And then if you look at the base, not the base, but y'all look at that top horizontal line. That says 100 and what? 108. I think I saw 104 on one of the, look at the angle, the red angle. So these numbers correlate, correlate to the Great Circle. And the Great Circle, of course, is the great year. Okay? The number of years it takes for the sun to go through each of the zodiacal signs. So one zodiacal age and then another zodiacal age. The zodiacal age is 2,160 years. So from 1 to 12, in order for it to go through the whole great year or that great circle, is going to be 25,900 years thereabout. Okay? And then 1 degree is 72 degrees. Y'all see the 72, right? Y'all see the 72 degrees? And do you see the 36? And that will, you can reduce that all the way down to 9. All the way down to 9. And so this is why the number 9 is associated with the perfect man, or let me restate that, Adam Cadmire. So let me show y'all that. I know I'm off topic a little bit, but let me make this point too. Let me make this point too. Y'all see the 5 points? That's love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Love would be at the top. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, the highest points, the highest principles of the universe. So this is Adam Cadmire. And I think, in my opinion, y'all, let me say, in my opinion, ah, 36 degrees, this is my opinion, 36 degrees represents the age of manhood, the beginning of manhood. Now, we've been taught that it's 33 degrees, right? I'm sorry, not 33 degrees, but 30 years old. That's what we've been taught. But if you follow this, the beginning of manhood would be 36 years old. And then the peak maturity, the peak age of maturity would be 72 years old. Y'all follow me? And then 108 years would be the average or the mean lifespan of a man. Y'all with me? And then all of this is coming from what? The great circle or the great year. Okay? So let me show y'all a picture of the pentagon. So if you remove the points of the pentagon, and this is, I'm sorry, if you remove the points or the vertices of that pentagon, of the 5-pointed star rather, this is what you're left with, a pentagon. Y'all see it? And hence, the U.S. corporation uses this pentagon. See, no more love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Those vertices have been removed. The highest principles of the universe are absent now. They took them off. Anyway, that's my opinion. So let's keep it moving. Okay, so Saturn Delight, I already read that. Okay, so we're on page 144. All right, so Saturn's orb is 9 degrees before and after. That is, Saturn's influence begins to work when either he applies or any planet applies to him, to Saturn, and is within the 9 degrees of his aspect. So the sun is 3 degrees, Saturn is 9 degrees. This is what it sounds like he's saying to me. And continues in force until separate 9 degrees. So if you come within 9 degrees of Saturn, there's going to be an influence. Next paragraph. In conception, Saturn rules the 1st and 8th months. So Saturn rules the 1st and 8th months. So is he talking about the 1st month of spring and then 8 months later? Or is he talking about January and 8 months later? Right? Or is he talking about September, which is the harvest, right? I wish he would have clarified it. So when does the year begin? What's the first month? That's my point. Maybe he's talking about March. Anyway, let's continue. His greatest year is 465. His greater year is 57. His mean, 43 and a half. His least, 30. The meaning of which is that whenever a town, city, or a family or principality is begun, when Saturn is essentially and occidentally strong, that would be west, right? Strong west. The astrologer may conjecture that such may continue 465 years. So the city will last 465 years. I think that's what he's saying. In honor and repute without any sensible alteration. Again, if in one's nativity, in your birth chart, in your nativity chart, Saturn is well dignified and lord of the geniture, then accordingly he may live 57 years. And if meanly dignified, then 43 years. But if he be lord of the nativity and weak, afflicted, or retrograde, the child may live 30 years. You know, y'all, this has to be talking about hybrids, because in my family, people live very, very long lives. My grandmother on my father's side lived to be 118 years old. That's the story that was passed down to us. However, in the 1900s, there were a lot of people in my family who died young. But the lifespan before the advent and introduction of industrialized medications, in other words, when we were eating to live and not taking all of these medications, our lifespans were very long, very, very long. So I think here he's talking about hybrids, because these are very, very short lifespans. The reason why I'm saying he's talking about hybrids is one, because of the issue about hygiene. That's the first, the issue about hygiene, right? So we know hygiene is not something that they practice. I'm not going to talk about today. And of course, y'all know what can keep you healthy and strong? Probably more than next to your diet is just regularly washing your hands and taking a regular bath and a regular shower. Not having animals, not living up in your house with animals. Do you realize that when you have animals, those animals transfer parasites to you? Yeah, they transfer parasites. They're licking you, and the saliva, and some people have animals. I don't know any people some people have animals in their bed, on their couch, and the parasites will transfer to you. And that frequently does cause illness. And there are even indications that it's the parasites will cause cancer. That's my experience, y'all. It's not medical advice. That's my experience in life I'm sharing with y'all. As to age, Saturn relates to decrepit old men. Fathers. Now, I can see why it relates to fathers, right? Fathers should be disciplinarians. Okay? Grandfathers and the like, and plants or trees, and all living creatures. Saturn rules over Bavaria, Saxony, Styria, Roman Diola, Ravenna, Constantia, and Ingolstadt. Wow. Hold on, y'all. Be patient. Let's go through this, okay? Oh, wait. Look at this. The name of Saturn's angel is Cassiel, or Cassiel rather, Cassiel. Now that's something I did not know. Let me show y'all this. The name of Saturn's angel is Cassiel. Can y'all see that? My finger's pointing right to it. The name of Saturn's angel is Cassiel. 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 Let me check for comments. All right, hold on. Let's see. So what are y'all, scared to comment, or you just don't have enough knowledge to comment? Let me see if I can hold on. You don't feel comfortable, scholars, to comment? Yeah, I want to take a look at what these places are, these locations. Hold on. Let's go through this. Oh, I almost forgot. Adam Cadman. So let's go back to the Pentagon so y'all can see this. Hold on. Oh, wait. I have it in the book. It's in the book. So now remember, so we have the pentagram. Well, I can show you. Sometimes. There it is, the perfect man. So let me see. Hold on. So this is what it reads: the mystery of five-pointed star. The mystery of the five-pointed star. Sun man or perfect man, right? I can't read. It's too the print is too the print is too smudgy. And then it has mystery of the pyramid. But y'all know this image, right? Leonardo da Vinci made this image famous, or that's what is best known for in these days. But this, y'all, was common knowledge before the Catholic Inquisition. This was common knowledge, especially during the circumpolar zodiac projection. The original zodiac, this is common knowledge. This is perfect man when man sees and knows himself as being the former and creator of his own circumstances, his own health, his own condition. When man connotatively speaking, knew and could openly speak about he being, quote unquote, connotatively speaking, God. Okay, Elohim. And that didn't become a negative thing until the Inquisition. All right, and then the uh, switch from the circumpolar projection to the ecliptical or solar zodiacal projection. Okay, and now if you say connotatively you're God, or you're the former and creator of your own circumstances, and that you are eternal, people look at you like, who the f do you think you are? What kind of arrogant, blasphemous so and so are you? All right. So let me see if I can find. So you should be. I don't know if you could see the. See, you could see the 5-pointed star. If you look at this closely, you'll see the 5-pointed star. You also see there's an aerial view of the pyramid, where if you look down at the pyramid, or if you look at the pyramid from an aerial view, you'll see a cross. And there you see the man on the cross. And there's actually a circle that goes around this. And then that circle is actually the circle of the circumpolar zodiac projection. Well, yeah, y'all see the circle right here. There it is. All right. And in the community post section of my YouTube channel here at Zion Law School, you can see the origin of the pyramid. All right, and you'll also see the chief cornerstone. What is it? It's the sun, and then light emanating from the sun through the clouds, taking the form of a pyramid. So give me 1 second, y'all. Here we are. I think I found it. Why is this? Hold on, y'all. So let me see if I can give you a better image. I really don't like going to Wikipedia, but I don't see any images. Let me go to a Jewish source. Hold on. Now remember, scholars, this has nothing to do with religion, okay? There's a remix, but we're looking at the natural phenomena. We're looking at nature. We're not interested in any type of religious stuff. And there's no pictures. So do y'all see that? It says Adam Kadmon, primordial man. So this would be the autochthonous indigenous Moor. This would be the autochthonous indigenous Moor. Y'all see that? Adam Kadmon. So it says here, Adam Kadmon, in parentheses, primordial man. That's Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, man. So therefore, Moors. Sprung from the soil. Kabbalistic concept. The Gnostics inferred from the verse, let us make man in our image. Well, we already know that this is a sham. These are the Elohim. This is the Han Uman. Okay? So they just co-opted that. So don't fall for the hijack. That the physical atom And we know that in Genesis chapter 1, we know that is not Adam. That's an amorphodite. That the physical Adam was created in the image of a spiritual entity called Adam. The early Kabbalah speaks of Adam Elyon, or Adam Supreme Man. In the Zohar, the corresponding Aramaic is Adam Dai Le'ela, or Adam Ila'ah. The term sometimes represents the totality of the divine emanation in the 10, and then he goes on, in the 10 spheres. Anyway, I don't want to continue reading. What I really want to do is show y'all a picture, and there's no pictures. Ay. What's going on? No pictures. Usually, y'all, I can do this and find pictures all day. But now all I see is pictures of people. Look, why is this showing me this? Y'all see that? Let me try a different way. Oh boy, oh boy. Here we are. There we are. So you can see that a hybrid has been placed there. Okay? So this is not the primordial or the autochthonous more sprung from the soil. Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. This is the Han Uman. So now, do y'all see the 5 points? But you see how it's here to confuse you? Look at the legs. See, it's hidden in plain sight. So from his head and his 2 arms, that's 3 points. And his legs make 2 points. Hold on. And his legs make 2 points. That's 5 points. That's a pentagon. All right. So 36 degrees at the vertex on top of his head. That's when man becomes mature. 72 degrees. Y'all remember that? That's when, 36 degrees is when he enters into manhood. 72 degrees is when he becomes a mature man. And then 104 or 108 degrees is the average or mean, I don't know which one, lifespan of a man. So again, the 5 points, the head and 2 arms, that's 3 points. And then the 2 feet, that's 2 points, so that's 5 points. Y'all see it? And then the circle that Adam Katman is in, this is the circumpolar region, the circumpolar zodiac projection. Y'all see it? This is not the solar, not the ecliptical zodiacal projection. This circle, again, is the circle from the circumpolar region, which is the original zodiac projection. Y'all got it? Clear? So someone also mentioned a feminine, more maybe 2 months ago, mentioned I think she's an astrologer rather. She mentioned that she had never heard of Aries having to do with the head or with thought. But if you're watching, so that has to do with Adam Kadmon. So Uh, as a matter of fact, let me see if I don't know if it's in this book. But you can go into either the Devil's Pulpit or the Zodiac or the Astrology in the New Testament, and you can get which parts of the zodiac sign correlate to which of the anatomical regions of the body. Okay, so you know, sometimes I feel like I'm a student, still a student. All right, so uh, give me 1 second. Let's see if I can get a better picture, better image. It's too complicated. Hmm. So I hope everyone realizes that producing your own literature, that is part of nationalizing also. Producing your own literature, uh, bringing forth your own language, these are all nationalizing activities, and we need to do that. We need to do that. So I hope y'all will support my project to write the Book of the Law in Ancient Ibaryath and Modern English, and to present all of the natural phenomena such as the Hermetic Laws, uh, astrology, um, constitutional principles, so on and so forth. And then also of course, the etymological meaning of each word in the Book of the Law and its function, its part of speech, so on and so forth. Look in the description area of this video and you can see some of the elements or component parts that will be in the Book of the Law. But y'all got to support it, right? I it's not something that I want to do or that I'm even able to do without support, because I'm not at a point in my life where I'm willing to live on soy sauce and rice. uh, this is terrible, y'all. All of these, there's very few images of Adam Kadmon. Very, very few. But anyway, y'all, if y'all want to get the correlations between, you know, about the body parts and which signs ruled them, um, then go into the Devil's Pulpit uh, or in the Zodiac and the New Testament, because I don't see it here. And this is really terrible. Uh, this is really terrible. Hold on. Give me 1 second. one last try, y'all. I'm going to try a different search term. Well, nothing. No. Hmm. There's nothing here, y'all. Oh, maybe this is more clear. But here's a picture of the pentagram. Now, note that they made this evil. They taught us that this was of the devil and satanic, when in fact it's not. This is man as a reflection, rather, of the cosmos. In other words, as above, so below, as below, so above. The law of correspondence. Okay, y'all? I'm sure you see the pentagram. Anyway, I'm tired of that. Let's keep it moving. I think I want to eat. I don't know if their kitchen is open. It's 9:20. Where? Hold on. So, y'all, I'm having a lot of fun with this book. I hope y'all are too, you know. So, we're on page 153. 143. Or is it 144? 144, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so let's keep it going. The name of Saturn's angel is Cassiel. Let's Google search Cassiel because that's new to me. Cassiel. All right, so let's see if we can get an image. Oh, they're Hellenized. All of these are Hellenized. All right. So this is an image of Hold on. So this is that's an image of Cassiel. Okay, Saturn's angel Cassiel. So y'all can see the iconography has been changed. So here's another image. Everybody see that? Cassiel, archangel of Saturn. Well, let's continue. Hold on. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. And there's the pentagram. Y'all see how they make it look evil? Y'all see that? How they're making it look evil? That's to keep you away from this information, to scare you, make you scared of yourself. Okay? And by making you scared of nature or scared of yourself, they're putting you in fear so you'll run to them and bow down to their fictitious God. Or what? Or you go searching outside of yourself for salvation. All right? Y'all see the mind game here? The psychic attack, the psychological attack? Okay, so here's another image. Cassiel. Cassiel. All right. Y'all be patient, okay? Let me just search through this. Oh, and by the way, I want to bring something else to y'all's attention. So I also found out y'all see the halo? That halo is not necessarily the sun. Prior to the solar or ecliptic uh, projection taking the place of the circumpolar zodiacal projection, this circle represented the circumpolar zodiacal projection. The circle, okay, and it was changed, or let me not say changed. Initially, this circle was the circle of the circumpolar zodiacal projection. Later on, when the focus shift away from the circumpolar zodiacal projection, this circle is then, or has been since, representative of the SUN sun. Y'all follow me? So let me keep going, y'all. I'm trying to get. So it's a her. Is this correct? So it appears that Cassiel is androgynous because it sure did look like a man to me. But Cassiel appears to be a woman. Okay, so here's another one. So it appears to be androgynous. Okay, so let's end that part. Let me do a etymology. So let's do Cassie etymology and see if anything interesting comes up. Yeah, Cassie's girl's name. Hold on. All right, so the name Cassie originates from the Greek language, so therefore it's not ancient, y'all. Where it is a shortened version of the name Cassandra. Cassandra means shining upon men or entangled in grief. Shining upon men or entangled in grief, depending on the interpretation. Shining upon men or entangled in grief. So one of those, y'all, depending on the interpretation. It is also believed to have been derived from the name Alexandria, which means defender of men or protector of mankind. Mankind. Han Uman, kind of man, colorable man. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 and 27. So let's see. Anyway, that's enough for you to have a start if you want to take that further. Let's go back to page 144. But it should be no surprise, right, that it's an androgynous entity, right? Because it's Genesis chapter 1, and it has its origin in the Greek language. Of course, it could be, and I didn't do a extensive etymology search, so it could be a Greek name for an Egyptian deity or something else. Okay, so it needs to search it further. All right, hold on. So let me keep going. I want to look at uh, Ingolstadt. I don't know where Ingolstadt is. That sounds like Engelman. Ingolstadt. Where is this? Okay, Germany. Ingolstadt is Germany. Bavaria, Germany. So y'all already see where, and then of course Saxony. Let's see, where is Styria? Hold on, y'all. So of course if this is accurate, it is not in reference to the hybrid. It would be in reference to the European Moors, right? It would be in reference to the European Moors. See, let's see, where is this? Styria. Southern Austria. Okay, Southern Austria. Okay, so these would be European locations. So again, I would look at uh, those locations um, in association with the European Moors, not the hybrids after they took over and came to power. Because remember, everything was already set up and established, and the hybrid came in and took it over. Okay, that's how that went down. All right, so let's continue. Next paragraph on page 144. So, in other words, by European Moors, I mean those Moors who are orthogonous to Europe, sprung from the soil in Europe. So the name of Saturn's angel is Cassiel. That's an androgynous figure. So that would correlate with Aquarius, right, y'all? Because Aquarius is also androgynous. The friends to Saturn are Jupiter, SUN Sun, and Mercury. So Saturn's friends are Jupiter, the SUN Sun, and Mercury. Saturn's enemies are Mars and Venus. Now that would be interesting to spend some time thinking about why Saturn's enemies are Mars and Venus, and why Saturn's friends are Jupiter, the SUN Sun, and Mercury. Saturn rules the first hour and eighth of Saturday. Saturn. So Saturn rules the first hour of Saturday and the eighth hour of Saturday, or Saturn's day, which is his day, which is Saturn's day, okay? What does this say? Okay, Shebo. Shebo. So this would be the biblical Hebrew. Shebo, the number 7, composed of the Ash, a star, and Sheb, old age, characteristic of Saturn as ruling old age and seventh day. So y'all, the seventh day in Genesis chapter 1 is what? When the deity rested. The deity rested on the seventh day, the Shabbat, the Sabbath. So Saturn is, um, y'all take a look at that. All right. So these biblical Hebrew character scholars are very different from the ancient Ibaryath, or the which is also, some people also call it the Phoenician Hebrew. Others call it Canaanite Phoenician pictographs. Okay, they look very different. Okay. All right. So the character to express Uranus is, and so here it is. Let's look at this first before we go forward. All right. This planet is the source of all accidents. So Uranus is the source of all accidents, eccentricities, all strange and unaccountable happenings or turns for good or evil, of heart disease, quick and sudden deaths, of inconstancy in married life, so breaking up, runaway matches, and elopements. So you run away and you get married, right? Anything sudden. So when he's talking about anything sudden breakup, sudden breakup of marriage. So that's not ancient, right? That's not matrimony. Sudden breakup of a marriage, which is not ancient, or the sudden elopement, which is suddenly, like you're in Vegas and you meet somebody and then you're drunk and the next day you get married. Anything sudden and unlooked for, of divorce and partings, of uncertainties in all matters and affairs. It rules over occult studies, such as astrology and its students, astronomers. Okay, y'all? Astronomers So you learn astronomy in college and you become an astronomer. In ancient times, astrology and astronomy were synonymous terms. Mediums, spiritualism, theosophy, magnetic healers, magnetism. So y'all, these would be the characteristics and attributes and works of a prophet. The hidden mysteries, inventors, inventions, eccentric machinery, electricity of all kinds, and steam. So those of you who want to say, oh, they said astrology and astrology is evil. Well, if that's the case, if you have an electric device, such as an electric car, an electric microwave, an electric stove, well, you're also evil. Okay? If you call yourself a prophet, then you would also be evil if you want to look at this crazy. Okay, it rules over mines and aluminum and such metals and minerals as are difficult of extraction. Well, that makes sense, right? They're hard to extract, except by abstruse chemical or electrical method or processes, right? Now, why is he talking about Uranus in the context of Saturn? Let me see when Uranus was added to the list of planets. Give me 1 second. Hold on, y'all. So I prefer, yeah. So let me show y'all. These are the planets. Hold on. Let me take a screenshot. Hold on. Whoops. Dang it. Give me 1 second. Okay, so y'all, these are the 7 planets our ancestors knew. Uranus is new. Take a look at that. When I say new, I mean newly added to this list. So the attributes attributed to Uranus are most likely the attributes, characteristics of Saturn. So the principle is to return to the heritage, the principles of our ancient foremothers and forefathers. So if our ancestors didn't say anything about Uranus, Uranus is not real unless we can find evidence that they hid Uranus and then all of a sudden started talking about it. Okay? Other than that, I'm rocking with my heritage. No Uranus. Okay? So these attributes, because Saturn is the last planet, then the characteristics assigned to Uranus would have to be characteristics of Saturn, and they just split it. Y'all see what I mean? They split it. The same way they added Aries into the zodiac, and let me restate that. The same way they split Scorpio, Virgo, Scorpio. Okay, so we have precedent. That's my opinion. Y'all do what you want to do. Let's keep it moving. Where are we? Ah. Okay, so let's go back to the top. Now I don't. So why are they talking about Uranus when we've been talking about Saturn all this time, right? The chapter. Okay, so maybe they're done with. Maybe it's done with Saturn. All right. So the character to express Uranus is, and then they give us that. Let's go over to page 144 and pick up where we left off. So Uranus rules over mines of aluminum and such metals and minerals as are difficult to extract except by abusive or abstruse, rather, chemical or electrical method. Its aspect to ascend and at birth deeply imbues with native, with desires for chemistry and invention. What does that mean? Its aspect to ascend, ant, A-N-T, at birthday, I'm sorry, ant at birth deeply imbues with native, imbues the native, rather, with desires for chemistry and invention. I got to work that out, y'all. When combined when combined with Mercury, Uranus aspects it represents electric shock and inventions. So that's not surprising, right? Because the light bulb uh, is represented of idea invention, right? Let's see. Uranus persons are generally known by their large and prominent noses. It is conjectured to have its strongest influence in Aquarius, in the zodiac. On the contrary, Uranus partakes of the meaning of the sign it is in. Okay, so Uranus partakes of, so it takes on the meaning of whatever sign it's in, and its evil aspect in any sign are evil and difficult to mend or cure. That sounds like bad news. It ain't too much you can do about it. But uh, that would only be the case if you are not aware of the Hermetic laws and how to transcend. Y'all remember the uh, law of opposites. Y'all remember that? And how to transmute up. And there's a lesser law. What's the name of the lesser law? It'll come to me. But you can overcome these energetic or electromagnetic forces. Okay? But that's largely going to be through what? Through use of your imagination, right? Through use of your imagination and whatever technologies you want to use, like Reiki, the Silva method, to transmute up above so that the mass consciousness doesn't affect you. And that mass consciousness is going to be brought on by the zodiacal age and other factors. It could be factors like this, right? Where is Uranus in your nativity chart? But I would like to talk with an astrologer to see what their opinion is about this. So somebody, if you're an astrologer, competent, reach out to me and and let me know what's up with this. All right. So Uranus persons are generally known by their large and prominent noses. It is conjectured, it is believed to have its strongest, Uranus has its strongest influence in Aquarius. Okay. On the contrary, Uranus partakes of the meaning of the sign it is in. And its evil aspect in any sign are evil and difficult to mend or cure. That doesn't mean that it cannot be done. It's saying that it's difficult. Now remember, that's for people who are not aware and don't know anything about the Hermetic laws, don't know how to use the Hermetic laws to overcome, to neutralize the effects of one law through the use of what? Putting one law, higher laws against lesser laws, right? Using higher laws against lesser laws to apparently neutralize a law, okay? Or energy. Uranus movement is slow, taking 7 years to each sign. Wow. Okay, so I think that's why he brought in Uranus, because of the number 7. Yeah, that's why he brought in the number 7. But 7 is characteristic of Saturn, so that's not it. 7 is a characteristic of Saturn, and so that's not it. So Uranus movement is slow, taking 7 years to each sign, and hence, as it is a malignant planet and quote unquote the father of Saturn, so called, the country ruled by such sign is doomed for 7 years. That reminds me of the 7 years of plenty, and then the 7 years of famine with Egypt or Kemet, right, y'all? The country ruled by Uranus is doomed for 7 years, and such part of the body as the sign represents in any person is afflicted, or such house of the nativity. So in Libra, which is the present sign, this is in 1890, okay, in the year 1890, Uranus deeply affects females more than males, also signifies great destruction in that sign to shipping. Okay. So literally shipping, y'all. So loss of the vessel, loss of the ship, loss of the product, something like that. Lose money, lose your employees. So in 1892, it is now in Scorpio and will produce much bloodshed, earthquakes, and dire evils. And then there's a footnote. So let's read the footnote. Wow. Man, I can bear it. So y'all, my print is pretty blurry. Let me see if I can read this. Saturn will enter Libra about September 1st, 1892, at which time the cholera will reach the United States by means of ships or steamboats. Well, I don't see how. Anyway, let's just keep reading through it. Some description of Libra and the signs with, I can't make that out, with something in Scorpio and Mercury in Aquarius. Hold on. Is that Uranus? Yeah, I think this is with Uranus. I think this is with Uranus in Scorpio and Mercury in Aquarius. Bloodshed, murder, strikes, earthquakes, and terrible railroad accidents will result after June 1892 with diseases of belly, so that would be cholera, stomach, and bowels, cholera. So, y'all know what will be interesting? If I get some time, I'm going to research to see if any of this stuff actually happened uh, in the United States in 1892. All right. So Uranus is a malignant planet. Its effects are lasting. It's evil, not to be overcome, and its sicknesses seldom cured. Its good aspects produce unexpected benefits, so it does have some redeeming good aspects. Its bad aspects, the most unexpected evils and changes. Breakup of homes, breakup of businesses and family relationships, all of which come on the native, all of which come on the native, all of which come on the Moors like an earthquake. So that would be expected because of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15 through 68, which is the curses, the pains and penalties for living out of harmony with nature, y'all. In religion, we would say for breaking the Most High's commandments or for not keeping the commandments. Y'all see it? So this would be the bills of attainder and attainder. Okay? The bills of attainder and attainders, etc. Okay? That we learn about in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15 through 68, the curses. Okay? So Uranus bad aspects to Mercury. If the sign be corresponding, drive the poor victim to insanity and suicide, an unconquerable desire to end his or her life. Wow, that's serious. That's real serious. Give me 1 second, y'all. Hold on. All right, y'all. So we're going to pick it back up. Next class will be hopefully in 12 to 24 hours or less. Mm, wow, this Uranus is no joke. No joke, y'all. So we need to find out what the deal is with Uranus because our ancient ancestors did not know or did not have Uranus on the list of planets. So is Uranus a part of Saturn or I don't trust anything that comes from modern scientists or that comes from hybrid science in the 17, 18, or any of that. I don't trust it. You should never trust a known criminal, a known thief. or anybody who's objective or who has a history of dominating you or lying. You just don't trust it, right? It's common sense. All right. Too bad we have to end on such a negative note. So we're going to pick it back up on page 146. And thanks everyone for joining me. Like and share the video, y'all. Let's get the video uh, to as many people as possible. Um, of course, there are very, very few people who are interested in this topic. And that's not because it's boring. But this topic, this information, is only for people who are ready for it. Let me put it like that. Who've gone through the whole religious experience, who've gone through the churchiosity of Hebrew Israelitism, okay, and also the churchiosity of Moors who are running religions, okay, or dirty Moors, as they say, people who want to really return to the Most High, people who really want to live in harmony with nature, natural law, okay? That's who this content is for. So congratulations if that's you. Um, and that is to say that uh, that the curse, the historical JC, the Christ figure curse, you know, that the eye, that you have eyes to see but you cannot perceive, and ears to hear but you will not understand or cannot understand, so that you will never be able to repent, so that you will never be able to be saved. See, that's indication, evidence for you that that curse is either being broken, you're coming out of it, or it's already broken and you're out of it. Islam to all the Moors. I, self, law, am master. Assalamu alaikum.